So what's with the Occupy Wall Street protesters? Why are they so upset with Wall Street? Wall Street bonuses aren't big enough to affect the economy.
The Occupy Wall Street movement is trying to call attention to the economic inequality that has grown in the U.S. and the rest of the world over the last 50 years. The gross domestic product has grown by 300% since 1970, while U.S. per capita income has grown by only about 40% over the same period.
So what do Wall Street bonuses have to do with that?
The problem with big bank Wall Street bonuses is that they provide an incentive for bankers to take risks. Even more, it provides an incentive for success without a corresponding disincentive for failure. It's heads the bankers win, and tails the taxpayers lose if those risks turn sour.
But we need to reward innovation and performance?
The question of talent on Wall Street, or losing it if it isn't lavishly rewarded, is a red herring. We trust military and homeland security personnel with our lives, yet we don't give them lavish bonuses. They get promotions and the honor of a job well done if they succeed, and the severe disincentive of shame if they fail. For bankers, it is the opposite, a bonus if they make short-term profits and a bailout if they go bust.
Our population growth over that period, the disparity between income and GDP developed, must have diluted the workers' shares in the country's wealth.
That's true. But the growth of the workforce can account for the disparity in wealth today, or the non-existent growth of personal income over the last 10 years. Wealth has been distributed upwards on the socio-economic scale via federal fiscal, monetary, and tax policy to the extent where we are at about the same inequality of wealth that existed before the Great Depression.
But wealth in the hands of those who can afford to spend it gets cycled back into the economy in the form of jobs, and that trickles down to the middle and lower classes.
When the economy is expanding, that is at least partially true. But the return on investment of policies that funnel financial benefits to the wealthy is less than other programs such as those which provide funding for people who will spend the money, such as the unemployed and the poor, where it gets recycled directly back into the economy. When the economy is contracting, as it has been since the 2008 financial collapse, the wealthy and corporations tend to hoard money until conditions in the economy improve. That can create a death spiral in the aggregate demand for goods in the marketplace, which exacerbates the problem of a contracting economy.
Capitalism is the economic engine that has given birth to the technological advancements we enjoy today and the general prosperity around the world.
There's capitalism, and then there's unfettered greed. Technology is good, but poverty has been growing in the United States. Today, about 1 in 6 Americans live in poverty. Capitalism has served some of us better than others. Corporations operate outside the law to a greater extent now than they did since the time of the Great Trust busting at the dawn of the last century.
Corporations are already heavily regulated, which restricts their ability to make profits and thus create jobs.
Administrative positions in the regulatory agencies have been filled over the years with Chicago school economists and Ayn Rand types to political appointments. This was especially true under George W. Bush, and President Obama hasn't reversed the trend. These appointees have no interest in regulating the industries they were appointed to oversee. They profess to believe in the invisible hand of the free market. These agencies have actually been captured by the industries they were supposed to regulate.
If the people wanted corporate regulation, they'd elect a government that would do it.
Our government has been captured by corporations as well. Our Supreme Court has decreed that corporations are people, and that they can exercise free speech in the form of unlimited campaign contributions. We now unfortunately have the best government that money can buy.
So how can Occupy Wall Street change our situation?
The Occupy Wall Street protests can remind our elected officials that the 99% are the people whose interests the political elite have a duty to represent, not to negotiate with for the sake of their wealthy and corporate political sponsors. They are the agent, and the 99% are their principal, and so the idea of a negotiation between these two parties, as adversaries, shows either a huge misunderstanding of democracy, or it constitutes a sad statement on how there no longer is any representative political system to speak of anymore. There are merely the exploiters and the exploited.
Oh dear.